too. And we're live. There's a Bing. It's Pravina. This is the EuroAsia Scrum. It is a happy day in as much as I started up the Scrum from the Agile Ventures site, and it has automatically posted to Slack, and it's updated the website and so on. So it seems that either the Google API has been fixed, or Yarrow or Thomas or somebody has done something clever to make it all work again. But that's very pleasing. So let's go onto the old screen share and press all the buttons that Google likes me to press every day. Let me just check in with Pravina and say, how are things with you, Pravina?
Things are pretty good, actually, Sam. I had a look at the repo on GitHub yesterday, and I forked it, and so yeah, I've actually inserted those couple of meta tags that we were talking about.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure exactly which ones to use. Yeah, so you can have a look at that.
Sure, great. Yes. So now I'm assuming from the context that I know you're referring to the local support project.
Yes.
So if I have a look over here, we can see the forks of the local support project, and I don't see what there we go. And this is presumably you here.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's me.
Yes, that's you there. So we can go and see the code. And so you're making some changes then perhaps in the layout.
Yeah. What I did was I created a new branch called SEO.
Okay. Oh, excellent. Yes.
So,
yes.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Because I didn't want to mess with anything that's existing.
No. That is the normal procedure. I mean, of course, on your own branch, you can, you have freedom to it's entirely your world. But yes, creating a feature branch is usually the way that we start playing around with things. And so, yes, I can see here from the commit there. So you've added some meta tags with some keywords in there.
Yeah.
Is that the new thing? We can see the history and kind of want to show me the difference there. Excellent. Yes. Well, that looks like something that we can get out there pretty quickly. I'm sure that will be helpful for the SEO. I think there is another stage to the SEO, which is providing this XML that Google particularly likes, but no need to get into that now. We can certainly get this up and see if that has a positive impact. Now, were you able to run all of the tests associated with the system?
I don't think I have the right version of Rails and things set up on my machine. I'm actually busy getting a version of Ubuntu set up in my virtual machine. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Sure. Yes.
Yeah, one that's not related to the course.
Indeed. I mean, I think the course is kind of the MOOC course is kind of lagging behind. Just out of interest, is the underlying machine that you have a Windows machine?
Yes, it's a Windows machine. It's not fun to run all this on Windows.
No, and indeed, as we've discovered many times before. Yes, I mean, I have various Windows machines around, but I tend to run virtual machines on them, or it's a confusing mess sometimes. But yes, I mean, in principle, if you've got the latest version of the code, and when you answer it with Ubuntu, you can just run bundle, and then that will install the necessary gems, which includes Rails, and then bundle exec rate spec will run the tests there. But see, now I can show you this sort of GitHub Pong, so I can, in principle, actually just right now, it's unconventional Scrum. What am I in here? I'm in here. So I've just been in the middle of well, maybe we'll get to that quickly afterwards. I guess I've been getting sidetracked and excited about your changes there. Anything else to report? Anything else that's blocking you at the moment?
No, nothing actually.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Just to sort of finish up the focus on you. So do you have any plans to going forward today available for pairing or what have you?
I noticed on the Agile Ventures thing that there's on the website that there's a hangout this afternoon specifically about local support. It looks like a weekly meeting that you guys do.
Yes, it is. I think that the guys are hoping that will be fortnightly. I think you've discovered one of the flaws there in website 1 in that we cannot specify a fortnightly recurrence. But it certainly could be a time when you and I could chat, even if the other developers are not available. And maybe it will become a weekly thing anyway. So maybe website 1 is forcing us into a certain yes. But if you were available at that time, that might be a good time to chat, certainly.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. Yes. Well, then let's just. Well, I guess we'll just check in with me, and that relates to all these different bits and pieces. So looking at me now, of course, yesterday, and you were there for various things, Pravina. But so we had the local support client meeting prep and the local support client meeting, which I think went reasonably well. There was a lot to catch up on, having not met the client for 3 weeks. We got through and reviewed a lot of stories, accepted various of them, added. We've got some more stories that we'll need to vote on. That's the kind of thing that would be good to do in the local support meeting, is to start voting on some of the other stories in case people want to start working on them. There were I guess the key thing to just reflect on from the meeting, particularly since you were already there, rather than to go through all the details of it, is to just reflect on the action items. I've got some follow-ups there for checking out what happened to a user that the client thought that they had but then couldn't find. They have now given me access to their MailChimp, and so I can potentially create the list for them. I have sent Rachel this link to the develop server, which is now on Rails 4 for her to check out. So yeah, I guess that's the key things coming out of that meeting. And right, and so of course, so Pravina, you've started taking a look at this chore. What you can certainly also do is feel free to reach out to Alex, who is so we could now. So at the moment, let's get back into this view. Oh right, I need to be in this view in order to see it. Yeah, I want to see the SEO thing. I can give you. So how do I have? I just have a chore in there. Oh, okay. Now, have you signed up for the Pivotal Tracker?
Yes, I have.
Oh, you have. And so, but it looks like what I might need to do is add you in here. Do you know which email you used to sign up to Pivotal Tracker with?
It was the Codego email.
Ah, okay.
So I'll just put it in the slide here.
Thanks. Here we go. Because I often keep expecting Pivotal Tracker to work like Google Plus, where it seems to know all of my contacts already, and I can just start typing them in. I think the Pivotal Tracker not quite so advanced. So that's you added in there, and I think I should. Oops. I should immediately be able to go over to the SEO over here. And set your search so other people come by my window there. And yes, I think there might have been a link sent to you then. Maybe it's what you were there. You're going to be excellent. So now I've made you the owner of that story, which just lets other people know that that you've started working on that, and that's that you're a good person to chat to. On the let's go over here, and I'm just what I'll do is I'll pop, because Alex, who's one of the sort of the technical design guy at Direction Harrow at the client, he's expressed an interest in this. I'm just going to put a note in here like feel free to contact, but do CC with Sam Agile Ventures.org. So, feel free to chat to him about it if and when that you fancy. By the way, people sometimes think, oh no, I mustn't CC Sam because he gets too much email. I love email. There's never a situation in which you should feel, oh, I can't. No, I'll intrude. I'll distract him. No, I just, I treat my email I have an open heart for all incoming email.
You must get
yes,
a ton of email, though.
I do get a lot of email, but I have special secret management mechanisms, which one day I may share with the broader world. I might write a book on email management. Anyway, sorry, getting sidetracked. So I was talking about yesterday. We're talking about the client meeting. Then yes, I handed over the. I wasn't able to do the afternoon scrum, but I sort of set it up, and you managed to chat with Rose in that scrum.
Yeah, I did.
Yes, and that was. I was very pleased that you were able to do that. Yeah, no need to report on it particularly. I'm just very pleased that you were able to share thoughts there, because she's, Rose is, a wonderful person doing great work.
She is. She's a lovely, lovely lady.
Absolutely. So then, yeah, the other thing that's been going on for me is that on the way in, I was working on refactoring some of the local support code, something that you might conceivably now start to be more interested in. I was looking at a refactoring here in the volunteer ops controller, where we've got this, I think, rather ugly method. I've been kind of cleaning it up, but I think I've worked out a way just to completely sidestep the method. And if you're interested in the details, I've got this, you may or may not have seen, lose it, where is it on? Over here. Yeah, this series of articles that I'm writing. This part 3 is still a bit rough and ready, but basically all of the stuff I was just doing on the train this morning is in here. And that's actually not updated on that one. But yes, so I'm kind of, it's interesting, we've got the volunteer ops controller overloaded in a couple of different ways that makes this method rather messy. And I think I've found a way out of that. Anyway, I won't go into too much detail there. Maybe we'll have a chance to discuss that in the retrospective later on today. Yeah, so that's kind of me. Nothing particularly blocking me. My plans are, what's going on? I'm at Makers today. Yeah, there's a lot to do. I will try and make time for that local support retrospective. Particularly, I mean, if I know if I know that you're available, then that makes it a good reason to chat, to make time for that. Although there are pressures on my time, but I'll be doing, obviously, I'll be doing the Atlantic Scrum. What I would just thought to do in the last few moments there is what I was going to do is I was going to just briefly, I was going to maybe git checkout -b. So this is volunteer ops controller refactoring. Put aside git commit -am. So this is work in progress. Removing private org owner method. I found some really helpful Rails helpful methods. But so what I can do is, so we got sidetracked from before and just pushed off to the end. If I can now find, yeah, so this is you. So if you're prav C, then I can do git remote add pravina, and then do your local support repo like this, then I can do git fetch pravina like so, and I can then do git checkout pravina SEO, so, and I can go git checkout -b. So have you done GitHub Pong before?
No, this is new to me.
Yes, so I thought I'd just quickly show you this. So what I've done here, if we just look through, is one, I've just added a reference to your repository. You could do the same if you substituted the word Sam here and the word Tansaku, T-A-N-S-A-K-U, which is my repo on GitHub, then you'd be set up with me as a remote on your Git system, and then we can basically grab things quite easily from each other's modes, and we can kind of do pair programming where we push the code backwards and forwards over GitHub. But so I can now, I've got your SEO branch here, so I can go into I've got RubyMine set up here, and the code changes back. This is the current state of that thing. It's like traveling in time. Goodness, Doctor Who. Sorry. Okay, and then if we go and look in here at, do you ever watch Doctor Who, by the way? You know the television?
I have seen a couple of episodes.
Yeah, there you go. I'm just checking. I won't mention it again, or at least not too many times. But I just see if the cultural reference was valid. But so if we look at layouts here and then go to the application, so I can see I've got your code here in my system.
Okay.
Like that, quickly, and I can then start working on it. But so yeah, it might be a little while before you're set up with running the test, but I can then do, for example, bundle exec rates.
Sam, just while you have that open in the
Again?
In the editor there, is there a way to change the? Well, I'm sure there is actually a way to change the title of the page as you go through. They all just say Harrow Community Network at the moment, and it would be nice if there was like something that said home Paro community network, or
Yes, it could do. I mean, I think
just
if you look at the code here, we do have there is this method which is I guess built into Rails, which I think that allows us to override the title. This is the default title. I think one can in individual controllers, or even is it going to be in views? It's either in the controller or in the views.
because that might help with the SEO as well. I think if you can specify the names of the different pages.
Absolutely,
so, yeah.
yes. So, and I think it would make a huge difference in just for when you're in your this situation, or not that one necessarily, but I got a version of the thing open probably here. That's the development server. But here, if I hold this down, all of my back things are this. That's not very.
All say the same, yeah.
They all say the same thing.
So
I think we do.
From a user experience point of view, it's good as well.
Absolutely, yes. So I think two birds, one stone there. Absolutely, I think, and I think the framework is there to allow it to be overridden at the level of the individual pages and so on. So yes, but we can see there. Yes. So
I'll have a look at that and see if I can try it out.
Indeed, but what we can see here is I think I've run all the specs there. I'm just running all the cucumbers. It looks to me like that's probably going to be green. I mean, I think you've made I mean, this is an excellent start. I think this is unlikely to impact any of the rest of the system. Although, of course, it's good engineering practice to check. But so, in principle, what you could do is, you could submit a pull request off that SEO branch, and I could get that pulled into the system if you were interested in doing that.
Yeah.
Now, are you familiar with pull requests? Are you comfortable with how they work and what they are?
I think I have a basic understanding.
Yes.
I'm very new to Git. I mean, I've done just what was required from the course so far, from the MOOC. So yeah.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And this is it can be a little bit. I mean, I think there is. Let me just go to a random other thing here. If we go to pull requests, GitHub. There, I believe, yeah. So there's a good article on this, and then basically what it means is that you can send this code change that you've made on your SEO branch to the develop branch on the Agile Ventures local support, and then it can be reviewed and pulled in. But I'll paste that link into the chat there, so feel free to sort of read that through, and potentially we can give you some help in the local support retrospective later on today.
Yeah. Okay.
Excellent. Great. Well, I think that probably covers everything. I'll maybe see you at either the Atlantic Scrum or possibly the local support retrospective. If I'm unable to do that retrospective today, I will certainly let you know with as much advance warning as I can. But it may also be, if Michael's around, it might be a good chance for you to hook up with him. If you can do a remote pairing session with Michael, he knows the local support project very well, so that would be, I'd love to introduce you to him.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I'm going to wrap up the broadcast